Royal Daily Tea YouTube channel. Please be advised all of my videos are for entertainment purposes only, based 100% on my own opinion, my own theories, and my own research. All of my information can be found on the public domain and falls under the fair use guidelines. Please feel free to do your own research. Hello and welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. Hope everyone is having a lovely start of the week. It's Monday for us working folk. And I'm happy to report I see quite a few people have bought themselves a carafe. I'm so excited. About 5 people purchased the carafe from my Amazon storefront. I am so excited for you guys to get it. Make sure you send me a photo over to my email, royaldailytea@gmail.com. I myself am buying quite a few of them for Christmas. And thank you guys so much for shopping my Amazon storefront. It's a way for me to earn just a little bit of commission and also a way for me to share some really cool, interesting finds with you as well. But we have a lot of juicy royal tea to get through, so grab yourself a beverage and let's get into the Royal Daily Tea. So tell me you hired the paparazzi without telling me you hired the paparazzi. Well, Miss Meghan Markle was seen doing some much needed retail therapy recently after the huge backlash that she has received from her latest podcast, where she talked about being a bimbo and being objectified for her looks. You know, she was really upset that nobody looked at her for her brains because she's such a brainiac, said nobody ever. I mean, she wasn't the valedictorian. She didn't get the best grades in school. She tried to work for the UN in Argentina and supposedly failed the exam. But y'all, she's such a brainiac. She does Wordle with Harry in bed. But apparently people did not see her talent while she was sitting there on Deal or No Deal and she was holding a suitcase. So Miss Meghan, who's never, ever seen out in public unless Backgrid is there, y'all, was out shopping with an unidentified woman who looks like an assistant slash bodyguard slash friend, because we all know Meghan doesn't really have any of those. So she was seen out and about, said enjoying retail therapy, wearing a $595 strapless green Malia Mills jumpsuit, which she paired with an olive sweater, a wide-brimmed $128 Panama hat from Kawana, sunglasses and sandals, completed with no makeup and a hair braid. I'm not trying to be rude here, but that's a lot of money to look this bad. It's like it proves that money can't buy you class, and it certainly cannot buy you style. You would never see Catherine, who was known as Kate Middleton, or Catherine, the Princess of Wales, even on her dressed down days, does not look this frumpy. Again, I'm not really sure about a $600 jumpsuit. In my opinion, it's not the most flattering thing that she could have worn paired with that hat. Again, this is something I would have wore to the pool. That's just me and those flip-flops. You know, it is said that Meghan doesn't like her feet, that she has a weird phobia about people photographing her feet. Well, quite frankly, I can see why. So in my opinion, she's trying to do the cool mom, you know, the California chic. I'm not the mean mom, I'm the cool mom. I'm Rachel. I'm just so laid back. Just call me Julia Roberts, y'all, because that's who I'm trying to be now, America's sweetheart. I'm just so low-key. Look at me, y'all, walking around in the streets with the normal folk. I'm like one of y'all, except for I'm a lot better and richer. But look at me, y'all, hanging out with the peasants, and of course, Backgrid. You know, it's funny how we never see Meghan and Harry or their kids out and about, living their life in Monteshitshow, but the minute we do see them, boy, Backgrid is the one who got the photograph. You know, the one who got them when they went to that Italian restaurant on the porch, or last Christmas when Meghan was Christmas shopping and the photographer got extremely close to her face so much so that you could see his shadow on the wall. Now there's Meghan smiling out in public. Look at me. Make sure you get my outfit so we can put it up on Meghan's mirror. And make sure you take a photograph of me holding this bag because I'm getting paid to merch this store. Again, this screams desperate for attention, desperate for money, desperate for exposure. You know, they did threaten us and tell us that 2022 was their year of exposure. And let me just say, Meghan, we get it. We don't need to see you every single day. You're becoming overexposed. You know, 2022 was their year of exposure, and 2023 is their year of reconciliation, where they're going to allow the royal family to apologize to them. That's right. What is it? Ask for forgiveness and not permission. But they think, in the words of Meghanese, that the royals need to apologize to them. So they're going to graciously allow them to do that next year. Now, the interesting thing is that there's, a lot of back and forth. Are they not? Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? That stupid docu-series that has just been dragging on forever. So many different rumors and stories. They were talking about how they were going to push it off till next year, due to the fact there's a lot of inconsistencies that's not matching up with Prince Harry's memoir, that the couple keep contradicting themselves. Again, they're speaking Meghanese and Harryese, which is their lingo, which means it doesn't make a lot of sense and it's full of lies. That's Meghanese for you. But now there's another source and another rumor that says that Netflix plans to go ahead and they are going to launch the docuseries in December, as they had previously stated they were going to, right after The Crown airs in November. Now, we all know that Netflix is receiving a large amount of backlash for The Crown, but y'all, they don't care. It's money in the bank. It's going to be huge ratings, but they are going to now put a warning label to let people know this is fiction. This is dramatized historical fiction. Again, a lot of people think it's true. These are the people who follow Meghan, but it's not. So now Netflix, to kind of save their rear end, they're putting a warning label on it, which I think is great. It's going to be fine. But they're going to air the docuseries, according to a new source, in December. And I think it is going to happen because Meghan is now distancing herself from the docuseries. In her Variety magazine, she kind of let it slip, well, we're leaving it in the creative hands of the director, and she's going to tell it through her lens. Meaning, the story's not being told the way that we wanted it to be told. So again, speaking Meghanese, it means we done effed up, and they're not taking the crap out, and so now shit's going to hit the fan, and we're going to have to go, oopsie, we don't know what happened, we're just going to distance ourselves. Kind of like she did with the Cut interview, where she said it, but now she's acting like, well, we were supposed to talk about archetype and our projects. Like, I don't know how the hell all that stuff that I said got in the article. Even my guttural sounds, I mean, gosh, I don't know how that got in there, because you told her, Meghan. That's why. So Meghan got that lady fired because she couldn't have artistic creative control and tell the lady what she could and couldn't put in the article. So now it appears that the Netflix series, or the docuseries, is under the director's control. I mean, imagine that, the director having creative control. That's kind of what they do, Meghan. They direct. So now Megsy is kind of doing the it's not in our hands, it's out of our control. The story's being told through her creative lens. It's called backtracking. It's called they wouldn't remove the stuff that you wanted them to remove. And crap's going to hit the fan. And you're just trying to distance yourself because you don't ever take any accountability or blame for anything. So now she's pretty much going to be shading this little director and throwing her under the bus. right? Again, speaking Meghanese, from the same lady who says she was objectified and felt like a bimbo holding a briefcase and a pair of high heels as a model on a game show. And they didn't care for her intellect. But none of her acting career showed her intellect, but highlighted some of her other talents that I think she's used quite well over the previous years. So it's going to be very interesting to see if the docuseries actually does come to light in December and what is going to be in the docuseries. Many people saying that they've contradicted themselves, that it doesn't match the memoir. Perhaps that's why the memoir is being pushed until next year. But y'all, Netflix is tired of these two. They want their money. They want to be done. So they're not holding back. They're going to get their money's worth while the iron is hot. So they could very well be pushing this docuseries for December. Whether the Heart of Invictus ever sees the light of day, we have no idea. But I can imagine they're they're tired of waiting on these two. It's been 2.5 years. And the CEO is getting a lot of pressure to, hey, you need to get these people to produce or drop them. So in my opinion, it could very well happen in December, and it could have some major bombshells, and Harry and Meghan are backtracking like crazy. So according to Neil Sean, Meghan Markle is getting a lot of backlash for all of her negativity and complaining. You know, she's trying to reinvent herself as the Julia Roberts of Southern California, the real laughable, down-to-earth girl who makes a great bolognese sauce and plays Wordle, chasing after her 2 children under the age of 4 because, you know, she's such a regular person and she's the cool mom. Well, now every time she turns around, she's giving out a brand new interview to different magazines, a lot of contradictions. And then on her podcast, she's constantly taking a swipe at someone, whether it's the royal family, whether it's Deal or No Deal. She's constantly complaining and playing the victim card. The problem is she's now making herself very unlikable and very unemployable. People in Hollywood are very fickle. They don't want to work with someone, and then 6 months later she does an interview slamming them in the press. She's already starting to slam the Cut interview. She's now distancing herself from her upcoming docuseries with Netflix. She's dished the royal family. Now she's dishing Deal or No Deal, and pretty soon she's probably going to throw Suits under the bus. So in Hollywood, this is making Meghan Markle very, very unmarketable, and people are afraid to associate or work with her, or they might be, quote, markled. So in my opinion, you know, Meghan's becoming very desperate with her rebranding, but what she's not realizing is people pay attention. People read, people talk, and Hollywood is a very small community of people. And if you continue to talk negatively and claim to be a victim in the press, people aren't going to want to hire you. They're not going to want to work with you. And let's be real, she's a 41-year-old non-working actress. She doesn't exactly have a huge bankable appeal, and she's negative, and a lot of people are starting to turn against her in the press. Every single podcast, there is a backlash, there's a controversy. So people are definitely seeing her in a new and negative light. And quite frankly, they haven't done anything with Netflix. Harry's book has been delayed, and we're not even sure 100% if this docuseries is going to see the light of day this year or next year. So the only thing she really has going for her is her mediocre podcast, which quite frankly, every episode seems to have some negative backlash or controversy, and it's falling in the ratings. It's not the money-making top 10 podcast that they thought it was going to be. So many people are finding her not to be very likable or bankable, and pretty soon these huge multi-million-dollar deals for Harry and Meghan are going to dry up. Like I said in my previous video, I think they're doing a quick cash grab, a money grab, while they can, because next year could be slim pickings for the royals. So what do you guys think about the paparazzi setup of Meghan's new photos? What do you think about Meghan throwing the director for her upcoming docuseries under the bus? And what do you think about Meghan and Harry's star power? Are they now unemployable in Hollywood? Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And go over and check me out on TikTok and Instagram. If you would like to become a Patreon member, I do have a Patreon account. It's only $3 a month. There I'm going to share with you some interesting videos on home decor, cooking, movies, books, paranormal, and some other fun videos will be hitting the airways shortly. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.